Hello, and welcome to Of the People. We are all Nazis now. So we have gone from being, those people, half of America, who cling to their guns and their religion, to a basket of deplorables, to now that we are all Nazis, or worse, we're Nazi sympathizers. That's even worse. Now, it does feel a lot like Weimar Germany in the 1930s, for those who know their history. There's political stability, political violence all around. There is failing wages, there is economic hardship, and there is certainly anti-democracy or anti-democratic groups around. But it leads me to the question, who are the real Nazis here? Right? First of all, National Socialism as a movement is the formal name of Nazi Party. And, socialism, communism, what's in a name, but not sure who the socialists are in this race, but it's not Donald Trump. In Weimar Germany, they used emergencies, they used political violence, they used intimidation to grab power. Government controlled everything from healthcare to social services. They restricted freedoms. They censored things. They used propaganda. There was an enemy, right? They made an enemy of the Jews, right? Because it was all about the superior race and who knew better, right? And it was about destruction of the enemy because you were protecting the German way of life, or you were protecting democracy. Does that sound a little more like Trump and the Republicans? Or does that sound like Kamala Biden and the Dems? I don't know. You have to figure it out. So what it's clear is that Kamala Harris has nothing to run on except that Trump is a fascist, he's a racist, he's a bigot, he's now a Nazi, and he's evil, and he's a threat to democracy. So it doesn't matter what I did or didn't do, but vote for me because, I'm not him, and he'll destroy democracy. That's pretty much the fear campaign, because she certainly still to this day has not done a single press conference. And you have now someone running as the nominee who never won a primary. So there's that. But here's my question. If Trump is a Nazi, where are all the brown shirts, right? Where's all the political violence? And where's most of the violence coming from? One thing's for sure. There is one similarity between Donald Trump and Nazi Germany. Both were ardently against communists. They were anti-communist. And everyone understands, if you listen to this program, the connection between socialism and communism. But what's really going on here is that Donald Trump is a lot of things. He's certainly not a Nazi. What he really is he embodies the new populism that is sweeping the globe. You saw it in Brexit in England, where they rejected the European Union. You saw it in Hungary with Orban. You saw it in Meloni's Italy. You saw it in Bolsonaro's Brazil. You see it in Malay's Argentina, right? These are all populist uprisings. What it is Trump has given voice to a large section, arguably half or more, of America that felt unheard, voiceless, and powerless. That's what populism is. In the process, there is this resurgent nationalism and sort of a rebound or a reappearance of the nation state. And remember, thank you, Michael Savage, that a nation is defined mostly by three things: border, language, and culture. But this is really like nothing I've ever seen, this anti-Trump hatred. They're trying to make it about the man, and the truth is it's about his policies. That's really about it. So Trump, not a perfect president. They're desperate to hold on to power by any means, and that's what you're seeing here. So here, at the end of the day, is ask yourself where the political violence comes from, and perhaps just as important, if Trump does win this election, let's see where the political violence comes from then. And that's the monologue. Ericka?
We have to remember, Robert, they want to preserve democracy. So they didn't use very much of it this year. They needed to preserve it.
Right. So I want to play something for the people. Representative Debbie Dingell goes on CNN with Jake Tapper and basically now says that Trump wants to put everyone in internment camps.
I mean, this is, before we play this, I just have to say, like, it's okay. I got to take it.
Take a breath.
They've always misconstrued things, right? Like, normally the play is we're going to take something that Trump said and we're just going to misconstrue it. We're going to take it and we're just going to like spin it to make it sound worse. Now they're just straight up lying. They're literally just saying things that are not true, that he never said or came close to. And so oh, this is so disgusting. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, be vigilant for the lies. Okay.
Look, it's not even be vigilant. It's just, what it really is just see through things for what they really are. But with some, look, if someone, what is it? Sticks and stones may break my bones, right?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. I mean, right now, one of the good things that the Democrats have done is they've taken the stigma away from calling someone a Nazi, right? Everyone's a Nazi now, right? First you're a racist, right? We're all racist now. Now we're all Nazis, right? I don't know. From guns and religion, right? Cling to our guns and religion.
Yep.
To basket of deplorables.
Yep.
To Nazi, to racists.
Now we're Nazis. Yep. More than half the country now.
Yeah, it's a normal evolution, but here's where you have to listen to somebody and go, I want to know what she's smoking. Roll the tape on this one.
Yeah. Okay. Representative Dingell.
Debbie Dingell.
Debbie Dingell maybe got a dingle bell in her head. I don't know.
The Arab American community needs to be reminded and cannot forget. He wants to ban Muslims, he wants to deport Muslims, and he wants to start internment camps. And that's what we are busy talking to every voter. He's telling you what he's going to do. Believe him.
Internment camps?
Yes, he has talked internment camps. You know what, Jake? Wow. You may have to visit me in one. I get worried enough when he talks about what he's going to do to his political enemies. But he has talked about them in this with different groups of people.
Well, I've heard him talking about rounding up undocumented migrants, and obviously for that you would need some sort of camp. But what do you mean internment camps for Muslims and Arabs?
He has spoken about that in different audiences. I don't have the exact citation right here, but I'll find it for you.
Wow.
Former President Trump was just endorsed by a bunch of Muslim leaders and Islamic clerics, right? Imams. Liar, liar, pants on fire doesn't go far enough. But first of all, there's several things going on here. First, you have Representative Dingell, who, they're going to put me in an internment camp. Well, there's some, good thought to that. But, I think we changed her name from Dingell to Dingbat to start with.
Really?
Right? But she's talking and the commentator or the interviewer, Jake Tapper, doesn't call her out on it. She said, well, there are comments and I don't have them with me, but I'll get them to you.
Yeah,
well,
right.
Okay, well, where are they?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, but that's the stuff that the press doesn't cover.
And notice how little pushback he gave her, Robert. That's the thing that's so disgusting. If Donald Trump had said some nonsense like that, they would look at the pushback he got from what's her name's back on 60 Minutes when he was like, they were spying on me, and she was like, no, Mr. President, it's not true. No. Right? Like, they call him a liar. They oh my God. And Jake Tapper just let this woman lie on national television with almost no pushback.
Well, that's because it wasn't a presidential debate and Trump wasn't on the stage, right? Because you see what they do on the stage. And look, ladies and gentlemen, Trump isn't perfect. He's just the right guy for the right time. And it's not even about the man. It's about the policies. We talk about political violence in the opening monologue. Mm-hmm. Not one, but two assassination attempts of the former president on the campaign trail. And where is that even talked about anymore? It's like it never happened.
Nowhere.
Right? The political violence in 2020, Kamala Harris egging on the Black Lives Matter supporters and but bail them out of jail.
Yep.
Right. Let's raise a fund. Right. Let's raise money to bail them out of jail. So you want to take bets? If Trump wins, and by all yardsticks, he should, if it's a free and fair election.
Based on
don't
the
know
polls
that.
right
I don't
now.
have. Well, I don't believe the polls. I'm really going, based on the fact that I think he's going to do better with the black community than any Republican has done in the sort of modern era. I think he's going to do exceedingly well in the Latino, Hispanic communities as well, because I think they see through all this, crap that they're being handed from the Democrats. I think he's still got a problem with middle class women. I think that's still an issue. But I think if you look at the different states, and I think the working class vote goes his way. I think a lot of the union voters, like the auto unions and others, those guys, SEIU, I think a lot of the rank and file are going to vote for Trump. And so I think, and I just heard today, by the way, that it seems the Harris campaign has given up on North Carolina.
No. Based on what?
I think they're pulling all their advertising into North Carolina. Is what I heard. That's not a fact. I'm just going off of some things. So look.
Well,
we'll see
this is
happens.
the thing. What we're seeing is, I know nobody trusts the polling, but if you look historically at what, where he was in the last two elections that he's run, he was behind in both of them, and now he's ahead. And that has never happened either time that he's run for office previously. So,
See, the cynic in me says that they're trying to lull him into a sense of security. Here's what I would say, and maybe, Ben, you can look it up. But Joe Biden got 81 million votes allegedly in 2020. Donald Trump, I want to say, got 72 million votes in 2020. So the assumption is he's going to get more votes, significantly more than he got. So you're going to have to tell me that, again, Kamala Harris haven't done any press interviews, won't go on Joe Rogan because, she only wants to do an hour, that kind of thing. By the way, JD Vance is going on Rogan, by the way, but which will be interesting. Right. Also, but
that should be interesting.
So the instinct is if Trump got 72 or 71 million votes.
Yep, I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, from in 2020, arguably he's going to get a lot more votes. The enthusiasm you're seeing, and frankly, forget about the enthusiasm for Trump. The people who think the country is heading in the wrong direction, whether it's economically or in terms of immigration or in terms of oil or in terms of national security, all point to Trump should blow this thing out. And the Republicans,
74 million votes. He got 74 million.
So the question is, does he get more than 74 million votes? And based on the enthusiasm, based on sort of cracking some of the old standing Democratic coalitions, whether it's the black community, specifically black men, or whether it is the Hispanic community, arguably. And I think, by the way, even the Jewish community, I don't think it's going to be the majority, but I think, if Trump breaks 30% of the Jewish vote, that's huge.
Yeah. And if he were to win the popular vote, and that's what I've been telling everyone that I know, it doesn't matter if you think that Texas is safe, that it's a safe red state or whatever. No, we need to blow this out of the water, ladies and gentlemen. We need to send a message loud and clear to these crazy folks who just want to run this country off of a cliff, who want to trans your kids and who want to bankrupt this country, and they think they are entitled to all of your money. Send a message loud and clear. Go home packing. Kick them to the curb.
Or put them in internment camps.
Or come on. Can you? These are not serious people. Like, those are the moments when you go, oh my God, these are unserious people.
Wait a minute. That is absolutely not true. They're very serious people, and they're fear mongering.
Yes.
Look, repetition is the mother of learning. They're taking a message and look at Hillary Clinton, right? She was out there saying, oh, well, in 1938 or 32 or whenever it was, the Nazi, the American
the Madison Square Garden. Yeah.
Right. So they are grasping at any straw to democracy is on the line.
And ladies and gentlemen, for the record, pretty much every president in the history of ever has done a rally at Madison Square Garden. So don't let them.
I don't know about that, but they've certainly done large rallies.
Like Bill Clinton did. At least one of the Bushes did.
Well, the last time I remember being in Madison Square Garden was in 2004 at the Republican convention. That was interesting, but I don't know that there's been a presidential rally certainly since 2004. But here's the other thing I want to talk about. I mean, the things we try to bring up are the things that the press don't cover, right? Yeah. You hear all this on stage with Kamala Harris saying that all these national security people back me and all these Trump people back me, and nobody backs Trump, right? Which is clearly not true because, again, we're going back. The press didn't cover it. But do you know that there was a letter put out by 400 national security and foreign policy officials, ex-cabinet members, retired military officers, and Gold Star families who endorsed President Trump?
Yep.
Where is this in the press?
Nowhere.
Right. So Robert O'Brien,
he hates. Remember, the press is telling you that that he doesn't like our service members, that he called them suckers and losers. Why would they share that kind of information? It goes against their narrative.
I understand, but so here's what. So Robert O'Brien, who was the former national security advisor, said the following, right? The letter which he wrote and everybody signed. From a world at peace under President Trump, we are closer to a third world war than ever before under the Biden-Harris administration. With multiple escalating wars around the world, an open border that allows terrorists to flood into the American homeland, and malign actors like China operating unabated, U.S. national security has been profoundly damaged by the failed policies of Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. Ding, ding, ding. Now, by the way, that letter is 2 weeks old. Okay, it's 2 weeks old, October 3rd.
Wow.
Not covered. So the problem is, the cake is baked, right? Or the books are cooked, as the expression is the media is not covering it. And unless people make a diligent effort, or unless you listen to us, which you should always listen to us, but unless you're listening to us, you're not going to get this kind of information. But, the Harris campaign, the thing that concerns me, I think it was Tuesday and Wednesday, is Kamala Harris took 2 full days off the campaign trail. No one in their right mind takes 2 days off the campaign trail in the home stretch of what is allegedly a hotly contested campaign, unless you know something that other people don't know. Now, I don't know that the fix is in. I am skeptical. I mean, between China and Iran and Russia all trying to interfere in our elections, obviously in favor of Kamala Harris, because that Iran and China and Russia do not want Donald Trump as president. Now, the Democrats are going to argue that, he wants, maybe Russia wants Donald Trump to be president because he was nice to Putin, which I think is a crock. But at the end of the day, there's no way to argue that China or Iran would want. So they're meddling, right? Then you have this disinformation campaign that's coming out of the Democratic side that accuses Trump of being everything. Let's see. I mean, I wonder if we can list all the names they called him. None of them stick, by the way.
My favorite is a fossil fascist. Okay, so that's the new one. If you are for fossil fuels and you don't want to get rid of like gas and you are a fossil fascist.
Hey, I want to get rid of all my gas. I have too much gas these days, so I would definitely want to get rid of my gas. That was not me. That was not me, ladies and gentlemen. If you're listening to the radio, that ain't me. Hello, Erica. Sound effects we don't really need, but that's okay. I mean, can we get down to any more base humor than that?
I mean, isn't it? That's what it is, though. I mean, this is like, it's poop. This is such poop that we're talking about right now. All of the stuff that we're talking about is so dumb. I literally, fossil fascist, dumb. Bro. Fossil fascist.
One of the first rules, Erica, one of the first rules in politics is define your opponent or your enemy before he can define himself. And that's what they've been trying to do because Trump is irascible. He is he's undisciplined in terms of his oratory, right? Yeah. He is not a smooth talker. and he rambles and look, he's self-indulgent and all of those other things. And as I tell people, it's not about the man. I ask people who are not violently anti-Trump, because there still is Trump derangement syndrome, where I basically said, okay, can we put the man aside for a second? Name one policy during those 4 years that Donald Trump instituted that you, in retrospect, didn't like.
Yeah.
And you can see their minds going and working, and they always come back to, yeah, but he's a racist, right? They can't think of something, so they go back to the name calling that's been pre-programmed by the Democrats and all of this.
Like NPCs. Oh my gosh. Well, Donald Trump is a defender of American freedom, just like ASIC is a member of or ASIC is a defender of American freedom. And so we're going to hear from our sponsor. But before we do that, if you've gotten something out of this video or this radio program, would you share it with your friends and family? Because as Robert said, there's a lot of people who are in an echo chamber and they don't hear this information. So you're actually doing them a favor by sharing it.